What up? It's your boy Curse Bruce. I'm back. You know what it is. You know what it is. Anyway, let's get into this. So, I'm not sure if you ever heard, there were two young men who were charged with murder. I think in Miami Beach. It was around March 18, something like that. It went spring break. And you know how it is. If you ever been to Florida during spring break, you know it gets down. It gets crazy. It gets a little crazy. It gets a little weird. You know, everybody having a good time, everybody drinking, everybody drugged up on perks, all type of drugs that's out there. Mind you, Miami is. Let's be clear. We're not gonna bypass this. Everyone who's been to Miami knows. Everybody get fucked up out there. We talking about on taxi cabs. We talking about on, when I say taxi cab, that's like a drink. It's a drink that comes from a certain I forget the name of the slushy spot, but people are fucked up off that. People are fucked up off liquor. People are fucked up off drugs. I mean, if you can get it, you getting it. Coke, X, perks, syrup, all type of, and fentanyl. You know what I mean? Fentanyl is like the new thing right now. People are fucking going crazy over it. You know what I mean? And people are dying over it. And you know, when you put too much, when you have too much of something, it's too much for your body to handle. So we are not going to bypass that. Everybody gets screwed up out there. Now, there are some people who be lurking. You know what I mean? But if you've been to Miami, you know what it is during spring break. Everybody trying to have a good time. You gotta understand there's a lot of students down there. They're coming from colleges all over the world. Let's be clear, or the world, U.S. included. All universities is down there. And you got women, it's hot. You got women in bikinis, barely nothing. You got men in barely nothing, pause. And then people are just getting fucked up, like completely. They passing out, they intoxicated, too intoxicated, they landing in hospitals. We all know this already. Now, this story, there happened to be two young men, two black young men, right? They meet a girl. They meet a white girl. And I'm sure it went just like this. They met this girl at a restaurant. They're like, where you from? She says, I'm from this place in Pennsylvania. Mind you, Pennsylvania is kind of boring. Let's be real. Pennsylvania is boring. There's not much to do in Pennsylvania, especially if you're in a certain part of Pennsylvania. Now, I'm not saying all of Pennsylvania is boring, but I'm just saying certain parts of Pennsylvania is not. It's not popping. It's not really. It's not like New York, or it's not like Miami. It's not like Vegas. It's not like California. You know what I mean? So, this 24-year-old. She was out there. She probably was out there with her friends. And they went to Miami Beach to have a great time. Duh, it's freaking spring break. Anybody going down there is not just going down there for some sun. They going down there, especially during that time, to have a great time. It just so happened she meet two black men. And I don't think she just met two. I think she was with some friends. They happened to meet these guys. And it just so happened that she ends up dead later. Now, these two young men happen to be charged. Let's talk about who they are. You got, I believe you pronounce his name, Evoire Collier. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's 21 years old. And then you have Dorian Taylor, who is 24 years old. And they face charges of burglary, assault, battery, sexual battery of a helpless victim, credit card theft, and petty theft. Now, let's be real. We understand that people get fucked up. I'm certain these guys didn't know she died. I am certain. I'm certain. I'm certain they didn't know she died. Obviously, she overdosed, but I'm sure they didn't know she overdosed. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like, people get screwed up all the time. Like, even when I was in Miami, shit, I was laid the fuck out. I was out. But I didn't ingest any drugs. It was all alcohol. You know, when I was in my 20s, you know, I ingested alcohol. And I passed out. My friends, they made fun of me because I passed out. I passed the fuck out completely. I was out. And that's what happens when you intake too much alcohol, more than the normal drinking volume of alcohol. You know, there's a possibility you will pass out. There's a possibility you'll vomit. There's a possibility, you know, you go to sleep. I tend to go to sleep, but some people vomit. Now, when you mix alcohol with certain drugs like X, you know, I had X before in the past, and it's a crazy situation you get into. So when you mix that with other drugs and mix that with perks, now I never ever tried perks. I was too afraid to try it, but people try perks. You know, perks is the new thing. People taking a bunch of it now. You know, a lot of these kids today are on perks. And if you can't handle it, it can fuck you up. It can really fuck you up. And you got other people who got coke. Mind you, shit, Colombia is not that far. Mexico is not that far. Drugs is everywhere. And I'm sure coke it is also down there. The people who could afford it will get coke. Other people, they sell crack. I mean, think about it. If you got all these teens out there who've been, you know, cramming for all these exams, all this stuff, they trying to get loose. And that's the way they get loose. And half of them were already on drugs anyway. So whatever they took down there, it wouldn't be a problem for them. But the thing is how much you take down there. That's the thing, how much you take in. Now, these young black men, I don't think they committed a crime. The only crime I think they did commit was stealing the lady's purse or stealing valuable stuff in her purse. They took her credit card, they spent that. They took some other cash or whatever, they spent that. That's the only crime I think these two guys should face. As far as the rape and murder, I don't think they raped and murdered this girl. I mean, unless it shows that they raped her, then I could understand that. But I doubt it. You know, if it's two guys sleeping with one girl, then they're probably doing a lot more to the girl than a normal man would do. You know, they tag teaming the girl, they double team. So of course, it could show like it's a rape, especially if they spanking her and everything. Mind you, if she's intoxicated as well, and mind you, and then here's the other thing: no one knows if she said no. No one knows. There's no video evidence showing that she said no. There's no voice messages saying that she says no. You know, unless there's a video footage that shows, oh, she like turned away from it and she like no this and none of that. Okay, I can understand. I could support your rape allegations. But if it's no video showing it and she took the pill herself, mind you, before she took that pill, she ingested a lot of other drugs before that. They even said, even the medical examiner could not make a determination because the autopsy showed that Englehardt, that is her name, had ingested various drugs before her death. I'm going to read it again. It says, medical examiner couldn't make that determination because the autopsy showed that Englehardt had ingested various drugs before her death. It said the autopsy report obtained by Local 10 News does confirm there were other drugs in her system, including cocaine, lidocaine, alprazolam, ibuprofen, and among other shit. You know, I can't really say all that. And then they said pain Percocets. They even said Percocets. You know what I mean? Now, they are accusing Taylor of selling fentanyl to Riley, and Riley believed he was purchasing the pain pill Percocet. Riley was found unconscious Washington Avenue and died 2 days after Englehardt. So that's another person. Somebody named Riley is another one. And of course, like I said, fentanyl is a hell of a drug. Let's be real, it's a hell of a drug. Now, I don't know if these two gentlemen were selling. I don't know that. I just know that in the state of Florida, when you're a black man, they're not going to be lenient towards black people. You understand? And these two young brothers who probably are college grads or college educated, I'm not sure. They just got caught up in the wrong situation. You know, this white girl, she happened to die, and someone else as well. I believe there's someone else as well. I don't know for sure, but they're saying someone named Riley, you know, but they said right here, it's that investigators said the two men had met the victim at a restaurant, gave her a green pill, and went to her hotel. It had sex with her multiple times. And once she was unconscious or out, the suspects remained inside the unit and didn't call for assistance to help and began to take all her items. Now, I don't think that happened. How they saying it? I think what happened is they banged her, she passed out. While she was out, they helped themselves with her shit. In a place like that with Spring Vegas, everybody's robbing everybody. If you are unconscious, if you don't know what you're doing, there's people out there who will rob you. I don't like people who do that shit, but there's people who do that. You know? That is the only crime that they should face. As far as killing her, they gotta bring a more supportive evidence to that. I don't think these two men actually did it. Mind you, these two men is not even from Florida. They're from North Carolina. So they were also down there to party as well. So I don't think they did that. I think they happened to get lucky with the white girl. You know, mind you, they black. White girl wanted the double team party. And you can't believe everything the news say, because to be honest with you, look at all these videos. You hear these girls being interviewed and they said, what's the craziest thing you've done? And they said, yeah, I got banged by a gangbang. I had a gangbang. Or I did this, or I did that. You know, so you can't believe half the stuff that you hear from these news outlets, because they be just trying to make the person or the people look bad, especially in a case like this. This is a serious case. This case could put these guys away for a long time, especially in the state of Florida. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope people actually fight for these two young men. Let me give you their names again. The two young men. One name is Dorian Taylor. He's 24 years old. And the other one is Evoire Collier. And he's 21. And like I said, I don't think these two young men did the crime that they being accused of. I think what happened, like I said, I think they met the girl. She wanted to have a good time. They wanted to have a good time. She said, let's do it. I think they all were in agreement for sexual intercourse. And it just so happened that when she ingested before and whatever they may have given her may have been a little bit too much for her. You know what I mean? Obviously, she didn't just ingest. She also was drinking as well, you know? And when you put too much of that together, sometimes your body cannot take it, especially your heart. Your heart can't take all that, especially the you know, everything that your body can't take a lot of certain stuff. So people got to be careful. You have to be careful when you are taking these type of medications, these illegal substances that you're taking in, especially with alcohol. You know, it's not like you're drinking a lot of water. You know, it's not like you're drinking, you understand? And then mind you, a lot of these people, they take these stuffs for the first or second time, and then the other thing, you don't even know. They probably been taking it for a long period of time. You know, let's look at her history. Has she been taking perks? I mean, she lives in Pennsylvania. I don't know what part of Pennsylvania, but if she lives anywhere near Philadelphia, she's been taking perks. It is not the first time. And I'm sure, being that it says she took coke and all this other stuff that she ingested, obviously this girl is no virgin to the medications that she was given or the medications that she's taking. The thing I don't like is that these two young black men are being accused of a crime that they did not commit, which is rape and murder. That is not, I don't support that claim, and I hope these two will get a lawyer that will fight for them, because to be honest with you, they didn't commit that crime. I don't think they commit that crime. Now, if there's video evidence that show that they may have slipped it in her drink, then they may have did this or that, and there's voice messaging that supports that claim, okay, my argument, you can shut me down. I'm wrong. I apologize to this lady's family for what I said earlier. I didn't mean to say that. It's just that I was defending these young kids. A lot of you gotta understand, a lot of these younger kids in this day and age, they don't have much supervision. And a lot of them are doing a lot of type of substance that most of you guys done. You know, everybody was young in their life. And the only reason why everyone's being so serious is because they are older. You know, they're more wiser. But let's be real. Back in their days, they were probably doing it way more and way worse. Now they had kids. It's a different scenario. Nah. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. If these guys didn't commit this crime, they are innocent till proven guilty. That's the law. Innocent till proven guilty. And they deserve a fair fucking trial. I hope they didn't take a plea deal. I know most black people, when they can't afford something, they take a plea deal. Nah, these two men need a really good lawyer. They should have a GoFundMe, and they should be exonerated for something they did not commit. Now, if you're going to charge them based on theft, okay. They did take that, you know. They what they did? Use her money to spend on alcohol? Maybe buy some food? How much time they should receive for that? Not much. I mean, obviously they was down there partying, they just didn't want to spend their money. They spent her money. So okay, all right. Give him probation. But to lock them away for years? For what? Buying alcohol? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, because if they were doing the same thing, they wouldn't even do any time at all. So let's be real. You know what I mean? It's your boy Kurt's Rules, reporting the news on the Kerbinator podcast. I just wanted to defend these boys because these boys don't have that defense. And, you know, I feel sorry for what happened to them. I think it's messed up. I think it's a messed up situation on everybody's part, even the girl's part, you know. But let's be real. Black people ain't bringing these drugs in. I'm letting you guys know. We're not bringing these drugs in, but we're getting arrested a lot more than the people who actually bring these drugs in. You know what I mean? Where black people getting fentanyl from? They ain't getting fentanyl from anywhere. They getting it from the dealer. The people who sell it, all right, those are the people who doing it. But I'm talking about the people who bringing it in the country. I don't see no RICO cases for these people. And look, I ain't trying to blow anybody's spot up. You know what I mean? I just don't like how the law tend to go after only us when we aren't even the people bringing it into the country. Go after the people that's bringing it in the country as well, not just us. It's messed up. It's messed up. It's honestly messed up. But like I said, if you can't handle certain medications, I advise you not to take them. And be careful, hopefully nobody's slipping things in your drinks, mixing shit up in your drinks. Be careful. Spring breaks, spring break in Miami and anywhere actually is fun. It is fun. But make sure you have some people that's looking over you. You know what I mean? You can't just go out there by yourself. Have some people that are you close to that looking after you. You know what I mean? Some trustworthy people. Make sure that you can get back home the way you left. You understand? That's the moral of the story. Moral of the story is make sure to have some loyal people around you so that they can also look out for you when you're doing a little too much. You understand? And then the other thing is, we all know the reasons why things like this be happening. It happens because it's allowed. It's allowed. So, ain't nobody getting rid of fentanyl. I've been hearing many people dying of fentanyl, but ain't nobody getting rid of it. And at the same time, who's catching the person who's bringing it in? Nothing. You don't hear nothing about that. But you hear RICOs here and there about all the other black shit. Anyway, it's your boy Curbs Rules. Tune in. And thanks for tuning into this podcast. All right? Peace.